Last November, Michelle Smith called me on the 8 on Your Side hotline and welcomed me and photojournalist Rudy Villarreal to their home to see firsthand a great need her son Jermel had. Together, we worked to meet that need. And this is their story.
That's okay. We're going to figure it out, okay? So don't you worry.
In life, we're often taught there's a difference between a want and a need. But for Michelle Smith, there isn't. She wants to help her son, who has faced unthinkable odds his whole life, get the one thing he needs most: a new wheelchair. Medicaid said it wasn't necessary, so Michelle decided to fight back for the child she's been fighting for since before birth.
My first ultrasound, I found out that's how he was going to be without any limbs.
Jermel has phocomelia, no arms, no legs, and no one, not even her doctors, wanted Michelle to fight for him then.
They were like, do you want to have do you want to have an abortion? But he already, winking his eye and, playing with his hands and stuff. So I'm like, how could I have done that and been okay?
She knew he was worth fighting for then, just as he is now. Jermel's laugh warms your heart, though he's more of the strong, silent type, especially when the camera's rolling. But on this day in particular, because of this scar on his cheek, he got it falling from his wheelchair.
He didn't have any way to brace the fall. He just fell, and it was so sad.
It's okay, we got it. Come on.
At first glance, you might think his wheelchair is just fine. But Michelle says he's outgrown the controls, the straps can't hold him in, and he can't get in or out of it on his own. She says he wanted a new one, but Medicaid said no, not once, but 6 times.
You want to try this?
The chair he wanted lowers all the way to the ground, so he can get in and out of it himself.
Blue?
It would give him independence, a chance at a normal life.
Nice job. Pretty good.
He wants to go out. He wants to play with his friends.
So Michelle asked us if we could help.
There you go.
And we did. We contacted the Daryl Gwynn Foundation and got Jermel a brand new chair.
You doing all right?
Yes.
We got you all decked out here.
Personalized just for him so he could be a real-life Ninja Turtle. He's a big fan of the cartoon. From the ninja size on the side to the special controls and safety belts, it's completely custom for him.
That's your friend's house?
Yeah, he's gone.
Now Michelle's battle is over because her son finally got what he wanted, what he needed. The Daryl Gwynn Foundation donated the custom chair to Jermel, so it didn't cost his family a dime. But that doesn't mean it didn't cost a lot, about $30,000. And we didn't just get Jermel a chair. We really wanted to bless Jermel. And thanks to our friends at Kmart, Smith's, and Walker Furniture, we were able to get him set for school with new clothes, school supplies, and we even got him his first bedroom set, complete with Ninja Turtle sheets, something he had never had before.
Moving is often considered one of the most stressful things a person can do.
I think that's true. And when a move goes horribly wrong, several government agencies say they will help you. But as 8 on Your Side's Michelle Mortensen has learned, what they offer isn't much. So she stepped in and helped when others couldn't.
Right. When you're moving from one state to another, which I think all of us here have probably done at one point or another, if it goes wrong, you're supposed to report it to the government, the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration to be exact. But it turns out when you do, they really can't do much for you, the consumer. They can penalize the business, they can even shut them down. But if a mover loses all your belongings, the government really won't do anything to help you to get them back. Now, when the Knox family was told this after their recent move to Las Vegas, they really didn't know what to do. Someone in the county clerk's office suggested they call me for help. And once they did, I was on their side.
We try to make it as comfortable as possible.
Dorita Knox is ever optimistic as she gives me a tour of her home. An empty home, except for a few knickknacks and an air mattress.
If she gets in, I'll go up. If I get up, then she goes down.
That's Johnny, Dorita's husband. They moved here in May from North Carolina, taking a few items in their car like this giant bear the movers forgot to pack.
My husband won this for me at Magic Mountain, babe. Yeah.
Chances were very slim, but the last one rolled right in, so got this guy in.
Their moving truck was supposed to be here in June, but has yet to show up. Do you have any idea where your stuff is?
Mm-mm.
Uncle Sam's Moving Company, the company hired by the broker they found online, has literally disappeared.
A mailbox belonging to Uncle Sam's Moving Company is full.
Uncle Sam's, based in Sanford, North Carolina, has a lot of phone numbers, most of which don't work. And the one that does, no one answers. They've held Johnny and Dorita's belongings for 6 months now, much of it irreplaceable.
I got a picture of my dad and me and my sister when we were like 5 and 6 years old, and my dad. I don't want to lose those things. And my husband's mother's Bible. You know, it's just a lot of stuff.
For months, she's turned to law enforcement, state agencies in Nevada and North Carolina, even the federal government.
Hold on the job, that's funny.
But she says they've offered little to no help to get her items back.
Everybody says, oh yeah, that's a shame, but we can't help you. Sorry, miss, we can't help you. Why don't you try this thing? Why don't you try that thing? You know, and you try all these things and everybody gives you the same answer. Sorry.
So for now, she waits on empty promises in an empty house, hoping one day she'll get her pictures, her memories, her life story back.
Since meeting with Dorita and Johnny that day, I had continued to pressure the federal government and state agencies to do something to find their belongings. And I'm so happy to report that all that pestering has actually worked. A few days ago, they sent North Carolina Highway Patrol to find the owner of Uncle Sam's Moving Company. Now, once they found him, they also found all of Dorita and Johnny's belongings. The Knoxes have hired another moving company now to bring their things to Las Vegas, and it should be here shortly. I can also tell you that the federal government is pursuing an investigation into Uncle Sam's Moving Company, and in a few weeks, I hope to be able to update you on the company's future. So
Yay.
I have to say, it brought a tear to my eye. I'm
Nice
not lying.
going.
When I got that call that they had found it,
Yeah.
I thought it was
I
long
bet.
gone.
How
House
about
isn't a
that?
home till
Very
your
cool.
stuff's in it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, imagine trying to live without a house full of your belongings, for 6 months.
That was the awful welcome to Las Vegas endured by one couple. You may remember 8 on Your Side first told us how their movers were holding their items hostage. But great news tonight. Michelle Mortensen joins us, and you got their stuff back.
Oh yeah, I am so excited to bring you this story. I just can't tell you. When I first met Johnny and Dorita Knox, the moving company they had hired all the way in North Carolina claimed, we just can't deliver your stuff. Every government agency they turned to for help gave them nothing. So I stepped in.
9:41.
That was the exact moment that Dorita and Johnny Knox learned their moving truck had finally arrived. And yes, she's ready and excited.
Yes, Lord, yes.
After all, it's taken more than 6 months for her furniture to get here from North Carolina. The moving company she had hired, Uncle Sam's, took her belongings and her money, but never delivered. She contacted 8 on Your Side for help, and we did deliver.
Oh, you guys have made me happy this morning.
All right, my name's
Which is
Fred.
why today there are tears of joy and lots of hugs.
Thank you guys so much.
I'm Johnny.
I'm pleased to meet you, Johnny. My
Within
name's Fred.
minutes, a plan was devised, and the team from Everyday Moving and Storage started to unload.
Yeah, this looks like his wrapping.
Within hours, the Knox's empty house became a home, and they're finally enjoying their new life in Las Vegas.
A pleasurable moment was when we went to bed,
Oh, yes.
and we had our bed.
You may recall when we first met the Knoxes, they were sleeping on an air mattress, but those days are over. Yet through it all, they never lost hope or their sense of humor.
I am not a patient person normally, so
I know that too.
that wasn't nice.
Because they had faith that everything would turn out all right.
Because I felt like, you know, even if we didn't get this, then God had something better for us, you know.
After days and days of unpacking, Dorita finally found that picture of her father she thought was lost forever.
This picture meant so much to me.
I found my mom's Bible.
And Johnny found his mother's Bible, chock full of his family's genealogy and history. Everything they had lost has been found. And now the next chapter of their lives, their retirement, can begin.
The best is always yet to come, you know.
Their amazing spirit, their positivity was just so infatuating. I love this couple, and I'm so glad we could step in.
Well, kudos to you. You worked some magic to get that done, too. Nice going.
Thank you.
Every now and then you'll need to come up with a certified copy of your birth certificate. Would you know how to get one?
Well, one man turned to the internet to get one, but never got what he paid for, so he called Ed on Your Side.
And the I-Team's Michelle Mortensen joining us on the case. How did this one work out?
Pretty well, actually. Now, what you need to know is getting your birth certificate is actually a pretty easy thing to do. You just have to contact the Vital Records Department in the county you were born in and request one. But it takes time. That's something Ed Thomas didn't have, so he tried to get one through a website, promising fast results. Only problem? They didn't deliver.
When I'm playing it, I'm conversing. I'm talking.
Ed Thomas has been playing the sax for 59 years.
I know how to read music before I could read words.
And this sax is his favorite.
It's got a lot of guts to it.
And recently, he got
It's an opportunity of a lifetime.
to play in Dubai.
Yes, I've been a lot of places, and I've played in a lot of bands with some pretty famous people. And you just, that's an experience that anybody would want.
But he had one problem.
I'm presently trying to get my birth certificate so that I can get a visa.
Desperate for quick results, he turned here to usbirthcertificates.com. For $190, they promised him a birth certificate and a passport.
Within, a week to 10 days.
Only problem,
I didn't hear anything from them.
After a month of waiting, Ed finally called Aid on Your Side, and this is where it gets pretty interesting. We called the company from this phone, and this one, and this one, and all we ever heard was this.
All of our employees are helping other customers, or you have called after business hours.
As a last-ditch effort, we gave them a call on a cell phone, and get this, they actually picked up. We told them about the situation and asked them to call Ed to get this one resolved. And you'll never guess what they had to say to him.
Well, since you went to the media, we're not going to do anything. We're going to send you your money back.
And they did send him a check and eventually gave Ed an explanation.
Unbeknownst to me, I was born Edward Lewis Matthews.
You see, Ed was adopted by his aunt and uncle as a little boy. He never knew Thomas wasn't his actual last name, and the company claims that was the holdup. But that won't hold him back from Dubai. We told him how to get a birth certificate so he won't miss out on his big gig. And until he leaves, he'll keep on playing the instrument he loves so much.
Now, if you need a copy of your birth certificate, again, getting one is pretty easy. You just have to contact Vital Records in the county you were born in. And we make that pretty easy to do. Just go to our website, use the keyword birth certificate. And of course, if you have a problem like Ed did, call Aid on Your Side. That's what we're here for, 650-1907.
Okay.
I'm sure he was much appreciative, so he could make it to Dubai on time.
There you go.
Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you.